Yo, what is up, guys? This video has taken quite a long time to make, not just because I needed to play the original trilogy of Mass Effect, but also just the editing, the scripting, everything. I usually don't script videos. This video is a little bit out of my element, a little different than what I've produced, but hopefully you enjoy it. Letting me know that you enjoyed is by hitting that like button, leaving a comment down below. Let me know if this video has brought you to wanting to play Mass Effect, or if you're going to play Mass Effect because of this video. Enjoy. Art. It is as old as we are. Art has been a form of communication. Art has been the expression of human emotion when words fail, or when we lack the vocabulary to exude what we feel, see, or think. Art has bridged the gap for humans, for we often cannot feel what someone feels. We just hear their words, and very seldom do words help us truly feel the emotion. We try to understand. We hear it, but much like someone who has cut their finger with a knife, I cannot understand their pain fully unless I too cut my finger with a knife. Art has been the equalizer for us throughout history. It provokes thought, perhaps the same thought or one different from its creator, but it makes you feel deeply. It inspires, breathing life into parts of you that have never been alive, or maybe needed that breath to live again. Art helps us move the fortresses of perspectives to a place where we can become one. Art is a challenge for us to understand, for our society has corrupted art. It has taken art and made it financial gain or entertainment or virality. Art is purely judged and valued at what it gives me, not what it evokes from me. We see a movie that doesn't have enough explosions or nudity or quick, quip, sarcastic remarks, and we rate it 1 star and throw it away, rather than seeing the depth and detail of characters and plots, writing and directing frame by frame, trying to draw out the emotions that we view as awful, mean giants that we are afraid to face. And we rarely recognize emotions, rather we hide and run from them, which has affected art. Art that is meant to bring us to a place of facing the giant, facing the evil within. This corruption has now trickled to the creators of art themselves, and forging things for the TikTok clips and virality that will always leave us empty past its 5 seconds of dopamine release. Art is lost, but it can be found. Found in the art of old things that once were created with the originality or inspiration to bring people to a place of change. This is where art becomes the challenge it was always meant to be. That is why when I see a work of art at its highest level, I do not hesitate to call it a masterpiece. But to you, you will not see the impact of my words. You will not see the value I extend to such a work of art, calling it this, because you have been calcified by the society's draining of the whole dictionary of words to be completely empty. It has full pages, yes, a dictionary does, with meanings and definitions, yet when words are said, they are never heard with the impact of the word itself. Reactionary, we have fallen from the face of the world of carefully, surgically constructed sentences, seeing the deepest of meanings behind these phrases. When I use the highest form of achievement in art with the word masterpiece, I urge you, step out of your TikTok bubble and slow down your breathing to focus on the impact this work of art that I call masterpiece will have on your very being. Do not click away and satisfy the gods of ADHD and virality. Instead, bend knee and recline and soak in every carefully articulated word here now and see what this masterpiece has to offer you. When I say this form of art is in the likeness of a game, I do not want you to escape to the thoughts in your mind about earlier or later of your day. I want you to focus harder and wonder, how could a game, a simple construct of code, be this masterpiece? Mass Effect. A game dating back to 2007. Why should you play this game? I would say you should not only play if you never have, but you should replay if you have not played in some time. For the massive effect it can now have, not only in 2023, but whenever you see this video. It would be astounding. Not playing just for the achievements or racy romance scenes, but recognize the opportunity you have to insert yourself into a masterpiece that will evoke the giants of emotion, challenge your perspective, and will make you pause and think for an hour or more until you realize you are playing a game, and go back to make the decision only to immediately be immersed again. This is art. This is emotion. This is passion. This is how a masterpiece is born, chiseled down to expose the most magnificent beauty that will awaken feelings in you that you never truly knew you had. But the question beckons again. Why? Through time, we are exposed to things that will always change us and move us to a new perspective. We reach a point in the journey of life that only allows us to look back wondering where the time went and how we now see what our parents warned us about. When you reach a time in life such as parenthood, your perspective and who you are is changed eternally. There are many points along this journey where you will be changed. We grow to appreciate the things around us or see the fault in our ways during the time when we thought we knew best. We all in this entire world reached a point in that journey that changed us in one way or another. You remember 2020, the year that upset and ripped countries, cities, communities, families apart. We faced not only a worldwide lockdown, but some of the biggest political movements in a century, war-torn countries, people dying, edge of nuclear war. On the other end of this, we all changed. No exceptions, right, wrong, and almost none indifferent. This changed the world view of all. This bringing me back to the masterpiece. This is why you should play Mass Effect. It is as if the developers and writers at BioWare had a time machine that they saw what was to come. Or maybe it is just our cycle. The political plays and powers struggling for control, people groups wishing to wipe out another, releasing of a disease, or setting up centers of control, populations and people groups being ostracized, enemies rising with so much neglect, no one believing they exist, changes of power while so much moves behind the scenes, realizing some were not the enemy all along, while some who asked you to be their friend and you counted on were actually the problem all along. Forming bonds and connections with characters that make you freeze in hopes you do not lose them. All of these things leading to the same end, though different conclusions. These things that before would be taken as an entertaining storyline or interesting coding now becomes a masterpiece. You put yourself in the combat, you put yourself in the center of it all, and can see what happens and how little decisions change the course of the universe. You will go through the journey of Shepard and realize how mirrored our world has been. If only you knew it was this way for more than just the last few years. The cycle that is referred in Mass Effect exists in our world today and has for all of history. Man man-made political construct thinking we know best when we all have no clue what we are doing is not far off from the playthrough of Mass Effect 1. We move to Mass Effect 2, where beliefs are tested. Where do your loyalties lie in real life? Would they always? Who is really in control? Who should I trust? What cost is worth the outcome you desire? Mass Effect 3. With a rising hopelessness inside, you know that you have no time left. This is it. The final push. It all comes down to the greatest cost of all. The question that should be challenged to us daily are brought to light in such a small, entertaining game. Now do you see the masterpiece unfolding? You see what is more than a game, but is truly a work of art. Approach in humility so you may find truth. Your truth does not exist in reality, just in the reality you have manufactured. So to click away and become argumentative to the opinion I hold fast to would be to further insulate yourself in the world where art is nothing but entertainment and finance. You Neanderthal that cannot view something for what it truly is. If your brain is so small as not to comprehend art for the bridge that it is, then I cannot help you, for you have been brainwashed by your mobile screen to be nothing more than a dopamine-chasing pea-brain with no culture, no matter how many rallies you attend. You can disagree with my opinion, and that I will not argue. But to leave this video in angst to argue and not see the truth of art being lost in this culture, prioritizing meaninglessness over impact in fear of having to change or be challenged, you truly will be lost and never see a wonder. So many walk blind and do not appreciate the art around them or in front of them. Take a moment and allow the scales to fall off and see what is true art. Challenge yourself. Face the giant. No longer be afraid of what lies within. Play the masterpiece that is Mass Effect.